Good morning, everyone. Here we are very, very early on this Friday morning at one of the finest restaurants and newer restaurants in town, Pasquale's Ristorante, with the owner, Pasquale, and we are just so honored that you are having
thank
us here.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. It's a pleasure.
And I should mention, as I always do, that it is episode 37 for our Londonderry view. So welcome again, and we'd love to just start with, tell us, like, most importantly, how did you pick Londonderry and how did you get started, and all about you?
Well, it's kind of funny because when I came from Italy, talking about 30 years ago, and I landed that job here in Londonderry. It used to be a small place called the Scooter's Pasta Pub, where the old Mrs. Steer used to be. So I worked there for about 2 years, and funny thing that 28 years later, I end up this full circle here in Londonderry.
Wow.
And I just came upon this property, and me and my wife, we thought that it was time in our life to kind of make that step of owning your own property. And so here we are in Londonderry with our second adventure, because we had another restaurant in Candia, New Hampshire. And from Candia, we moved here to Londonderry, made this our second location, but then eventually became our only location because we ended up closing the one in Candia. So yeah, no, we have been serving outstanding Italian food. In Candia, we had the Southern Italian cooking, the upscale, and then we had the pizzeria. But when we decided to open our second location, we decided to combine the two. So here we have a combination of good Neapolitan food made with the pizza and the salads and the seafood, as well as those fine dishes that you can find in the upscale restaurants, from veal to shrimp to daily specials.
Calamari.
So we do what's called the 2 for 35, Tuesday through Wednesday. So give the guests a fixed menu, which includes an appetizer to share, 2 dinners, a dessert, and 2 glasses of wine. It gives us an opportunity for the guests to come and experience something a little bit, not just a meal, but kind of like a full experience, from dessert to appetizers to dinner, and combine a glass of wine that goes well with food. About 2 months ago, we decided to get into the breakfast business. So we tried to do it the whole week, but then we end up just cutting it down to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we do breakfast from 8 in the morning to 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, wow, you do it till 2?
Yeah, till 2. And 11:30 we incorporate our lunch menu as well. So at 11:30 you can have our lunch menu, which it's between $7.99 to $9.99, and including the breakfast or pizza if you want pizza.
This looks beautiful.
It looks gorgeous.
Thank
It
you,
looks
yeah.
absolutely
Yeah, we just made a few
beautiful.
dishes, and my family helps me out. I'm kind of glad that we have the family that is loves to work with. Actually, I shouldn't use the word work, because when you family, I say you helping.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's the
It
truth.
is. I
Yeah.
love your daughter, Rosa. She's a doll. But
Yeah.
she's always here
That's
helping you
wonderful.
out.
Yeah, she's definitely like with me all the time.
She always is.
It's the father and daughter relationship.
Oh, it's
we
beautiful.
fight and we love each other.
The love-hate relationship. It's
You know,
everywhere.
I try eggplant everywhere to find the eggplant that I like. So I came here and I got the eggplant, and you have the best eggplant in all of
Thank
New
you.
Hampshire, because
Well,
I've tried it everywhere, and I know you make it like I make it,
Yeah.
with the flour, not with the
No, with the
breadcrumbs.
breadcrumbs, absolutely. No, and
Yeah.
that's one thing that separates from the Neapolitan style eggplant. And we don't even salt it or anything like that. We just do
Fantastic.
the typical, like, mom and pop, the way my mom used to make it.
Mine too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just the flour, the egg, and then you fry slice by slice. It
Yeah,
definitely makes a big
That's
difference.
it. Yeah,
You've
big
always
difference.
said that too.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
yeah.
it. Because everywhere I go, I try it, and I
Yeah.
never. Until I came here, and I was like, "Oh my! Do you remember?"
The
I
night we
said,
were here,
I
yeah.
was like, "Oh my God! I found my eggplant."
Yeah. And, and the guest that comes on the weekend, while we have a breakfast, we also have an array of drinks. We do, we have a Rossini, which is like a strawberry puree and prosecco wine. We do a
Speaking of,
mimosa.
I'm
We do.
cheers.
We have a
Cheers.
menu. It's called not just coffee, which includes. We have an array of different drinks that we do.
Delicious.
Oh my
Um,
goodness, that's excellent.
It kind of little fixer upper,
Yeah.
during the weekend.
This is delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
good.
And
Like
how
I
long
said,
have you been
very
doing the breakfast now?
The breakfast now we've been doing it for about 2 months
2
now.
months, I
Yeah,
was
about a
thinking
couple
2
months,
months.
and we've been here for almost over 2 years now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
yeah, we
gosh.
opened back in 16, and
It's hard to
That
believe.
went by
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
Because I remember the sign changing,
Mm.
but I didn't think it's been 2 years.
yeah, yeah,
You're
2
sure
years.
it's been 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years and some. We
Wow.
opened on my daughter's birthday. She can never forget that. It was
Yeah.
September 27, and we just it took a long time to do all the work.
This
So.
place, yeah.
But we
Looks
were
so
happy
different.
that we ended up doing what we needed to do, get it done.
And we're so happy that you picked Londonderry. We were all so excited, like the
Yeah.
buzz that you were coming to Londonderry.
Yeah.
And our town manager Kevin Smith was so excited,
Yeah.
to welcome
Yeah.
you. And then there's a lot of history in here. What I love is the atmosphere.
I love
it's
it, and
warm,
I-
it's cozy.
I'm very interested to hear about the
Yes.
pizza oven.
The pizza oven is definitely the showpiece of the restaurant. We wanted to have something that it was like a showpiece. Even though we do pizza, we definitely don't want to be considered as pizzeria.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the pizza, like if you go in Italy, every restaurant is a restaurant pizzeria.
Yeah.
And the idea was to have an item that it's a complementary to our menu. That it's a brick oven pizza, the real Neapolitan pizza. It's not your typical pizza. I've had the customers saying it was a little bit too wet and too soggy, but that's the idea. In fact, if you go in Italy, they don't cut the pizza for you. They just leave you the pizza whole and they give you a fork and a knife.
Wow.
Just like you gotta cut like a steak.
Right.
Because the tomato sauce that we use is a San Marzano blend, and we use it raw, so it cooks right inside the oven because the oven is at 950 degrees. So it's very, very hot. It's a gas fired, but also we can do wood as well. But we usually use the gas all the time. The funny thing about that is that we couldn't get it through the door. So we had to take the whole window
Peace
out
pipe.
and take the whole wall out. We had to hire a crane operator to
Oh
bring
my
it in.
goodness.
And it was a challenge because it's 6,500 pounds.
Wow.
So yeah, it's such a big thermal mass, and believe it
More
or
than
not,
some cars.
and believe it or not, all those tiles on it, people always ask me how long will it take me because I actually did that myself.
And that was
my
what
And,
everyone
goodness.
and
talked
it's
about.
not like one by one. They come in a foot,
A
foot
square.
and square. So,
Yeah.
but we actually have a contest now. We figure out that how many tiles are on the oven. So we try to ask people to win a gift card. How many tiles
I
they
love
think
that.
it's on the oven.
That's fun. That's
That's
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, but it's made in Naples, Italy, from a company called Stefano Ferrara, and they have a well-known company all throughout the world. But about 10 years ago, they came up with the idea of doing a mobile unit, and mobile unit is one of those that is on a stand and it can be transported from place to place. Because the company, they always used to just build it in place so it could never be
build
moved.
it in the place,
Yeah, yeah.
around it.
Around
Kind of like
it, yeah.
Mike Mulligan's steam shovel
Yeah.
from years ago, the book,
But-
built it around. That's,
But we're very happy with it. Does a great job.
oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
it's
Do you
it
cook
looks
anything else in
beautiful.
there? Or?
We do some specials, we do like a pork loin, or we'll do a few other things. We try not to do too much because we don't have a way of really a hood over the top. So
Oh,
if
okay.
it smokes too much, then we're gonna smoke the whole restaurant.
Right.
Yeah.
That's wonderful, my goodness.
And you're open every day?
We open except the Monday. Monday's always been our day of closure,
Okay.
just a
Have
way
to
to
have a
like
day.
recoup and.
Yeah.
But Tuesday through Sunday, we do lunch and dinner
Yeah.
every day, including Saturday and Sunday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, even though we incorporated the breakfast.
Wow.
But we do lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday.
Very good.
Goodness. It's,
Yeah.
you're kind of like that treasure that people just have to come in the door, you know,
Yeah.
because people, when you drive by, and the
know.
way John and I was a few weeks ago, and you know, it's like, oh, you know, after church, well, where should we go for breakfast? Should we have breakfast? And we, you know, you kind of go to the places you know, and
Yeah.
we're lined up, and we're coming
It's
down
true.
here, and John's like, oh, Pasquale's got breakfast, you know,
It's
and
true.
we came in, and the difference with this breakfast is everything is made to order. It's not like
Yeah.
a big bunch of scrambled eggs that are like in a vat.
Yeah.
Everything that you see here is
Yeah.
done
Freshly
to
made.
perfection.
No, we do everything to order. Matter of fact, you know,
Oh.
I said if I had to do breakfast, I would not have been able to open up a can of corned beef and,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
potatoes, and so we do our own, you know, corned beef hash. We do our own, you know, potatoes. We do our
Wow.
own meat, and you know, it's definitely a little bit different. But the idea was to, you know, highlight that you know, we can do breakfast and kind of give the guests, you know, an opportunity to come and check it out.
And
Yeah.
the other thing is too, which affects us all, is your prices are
Mm-hmm.
almost too reasonable. Because you know, John and I were shocked at one how delicious we felt. We were in Italy or New York, you know, and you felt spoiled, you know, which was lovely. But I mean, look at this, everyone! Really, eggs Benedict to perfection.
Yeah.
You know, and again, the sauce,
delicious.
you know, homemade sauce, the potatoes, and even the garnish on it. You know,
Yeah, it
and
is. It looks.
for just, you know,
Yeah.
it's just incredible, and the flavor is
Yeah.
just over the top.
It's the quality here.
It
Yeah.
really
When you
is.
eat here at
No, we-
night, the quality is just
we-
wonderful.
Yeah.
And I am being Italian and being the chef and being the one that has the opportunity to touch every food, you know, before it goes out. You know, I could not do anything less than perfection. At least we try to,
Right.
you know, and we do fall short. You know, we're not like, you know, sometimes and we make mistakes, you know, but we hope that our guests being you know, the one that can tell us back what we have done wrong, because you know we want to fix things,
Right.
you know.
Well, it's
we've,
funny. Oh, go ahead.
we've eaten here quite a few times, and everything's always been
delicious.
never a problem.
Yeah, no,
Always
we really
delicious.
appreciate it, you know,
Yeah.
and we have our employees that they really take pride. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, they testing me sometimes, you know, I forget the garnish, and they're like, "Oh, what is the garnish?" You know, like, so you know,
Well,
they love it to serve what they serve, because you know they see that from the back. I think when the owners or the chef has that
Yes.
pride and that love for food, that they also have that pride and that love for food, you know, and. I didn't want the people to kind of do something just because it's a job. You know, if you
Right.
do this kind of work,
You
like
have to
cooking,
enjoy
it
it.
has
Yeah.
to come from the heart.
A
you
labor
know?
of love.
Definitely.
It
Yeah,
really is.
yeah, it really
Yeah.
does. People say to me, you know, it tastes good. Oh, it's the love that you put into it.
It
you know.
really is.
So
yeah, it's,
Yeah, the Italian food is. It is.
Yeah,
It's the best around. I
oh.
can't find a place
Well,
around.
and it was also too, we took, it was such a large portion that we had to
Oh,
get a
that's
container
right,
and
too.
take food home.
Oh,
Yeah.
my
Great.
So, it's,
Yeah.
you know, large portions, the quality is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's-
And I have a terrible time with gravy, trying to.
Gravy
Eat-
meaning
eat-
though, not the
tomato
brown
sauce.
gravy. Because I
And I
automatically-
do. I have a terrible time with that because most of the places it's not good. It's fantastic. here.
thank you.
Oh.
It
Yeah, no,
really is.
people say it's just the right balance because it's not sweet, and it's,
Right.
you know, we use what's called well, you may know, it's the San Marzano tomatoes,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And
That's
they are
what it is.
imported from Italy, even though California has some really great tomatoes, but unfortunately everything gets picked so early in the season that the skin of the tomatoes is not ripe enough. And then they cook it for hours and hours and just to get the tomato sauce done.
Yeah.
And I call it tomato sauce, I'm sorry, but I don't call it gravy.
Yeah,
I think
a
it's
lot
more
of
like an
people do.
American thing,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But, you know, you gotta start with the right base. People ask me all the time, I say, you know, just buy good tomatoes,
Yeah,
you know?
that's
Spend
the
a little bit extra money on the tomatoes.
quality of
On the
it.
quality, but if you can get San Marzano is an area, it's like a Napa Valley, you know, it's all the way around the Vesuvius, and I live right by San Marzano. So the soil of the Vesuvius is so, you know, rich in mineral that when
Yeah.
you grow these tomatoes around the Vesuvius called the San Marzano tomatoes, they have actually the town, the city, the state, they give them the DOP, you know, which actually is a stamp. from the
Oh,
government
wow.
that can only be grown in that area. He just got the best.
Oh.
In America, we don't have that opportunity to stamp our food. For example, Vermont maple syrup, well known around the world, but I can buy sap from Vermont and go to California, pack it, and say Vermont maple syrup. And that's never going to be happening in Italy. You have to make it, produce it, and bottle it in the same town. And then you get the stamp from the government that tells you that that was the authentic Vermont maple syrup because they have the stamp on it.
I didn't
So-
realize that.
Yeah.
My
So you find the
goodness.
wine too, there will be DOC on top or DOCG, the little stamp on the top. It just tells the consumer that it's made in the area where Chianti's made or where,
Oh, my
where
goodness.
Barolo's
No
made or
idea.
something.
Yeah, that's very
We just
interesting.
learned something else today.
Yeah.
When you think about it, it's boy, my
Yeah.
goodness.
We do, I just want to mention for the viewers that we do have a fantastic dinner coming up on the 16th of December.
I read about that.
We call it the
Oh.
Feast of the Seven Fishes, and that's actually the feast of, they call it like the Vigilia Napoletana. That's like when I grew up, if you did too.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve, you
All
just eat
fish.
fish all day, and then
We
at
still
11:30 you walk down to church for your midnight mass.
Yeah.
And we do that over here on the 16th of December.
Ah.
We start at 1 o'clock, and we just don't know when we finish. Normally it takes about 5 hours.
Wow.
And we do all an array of appetizers, including fish, from octopus salad to calamari salad, to
yeah.
like peperonata, to escarole, to broccoli rabe, all this kind of stuff. And then after that, we go to a mussel soup, with the pasta fagioli. Then we do spaghettini with the clams. Then we do bacala. Then we do octopus braised with the red wine. And then we'll do nuts, walnuts, cheeses, and wine. And so definitely a feast.
Wow, I guess so.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
That
boy.
is,
And do
We
people
still
sign-
do that.
You-
We
you
still do the
That's
fishes
right,
on
Bonnie.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
We do all the
Goodness.
fishes.
yeah, definitely a tradition.
Now, will people, because this will be your first time doing it here, do people sign up for it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We have been doing this for about 9 years now, including Candia. But absolutely, it's a reservation only, so people will call and they will basically make reservations, and it's also include the wines because we do in a glass of wine for every course. So
Yeah.
kind of give people an opportunity to taste wine from Campania, like the Fiano di
yeah.
Avellino, the Grego
Yeah.
di Tufo, and then you work down, from each course, just a nice little wine to go with the meal.
Oh, does that
Yeah,
sound
it does.
wonderful?
That
Oh, my
sounds
gosh,
wonderful.
It just sounds phenomenal. Boy, that's 2 weeks away.
I know,
Yes,
and it's going
You're
fast.
busy. You're very, very busy. But
Yeah.
my good. So how old were you when you came over to America then?
Well, I was actually in my teens when I got a job down in Bermuda. I used to work in Bermuda, at the
Yeah.
island of Bermuda there, and I met my wife there. She was there on vacation, and she's originally from Manchester, New Hampshire.
Oh, that's
And,
I love the love
and
story.
we are married for 29 years now,
Very
going to the
nice.
30. We have 3 kids. And of course the business, and we don't see each other very much.
No.
So that's why we
Makes
never
me-
fight.
Makes for a good marriage.
That definitely does.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the key to it. Oh,
We
you-
try to make every minute that we have the best
Happy
minute we
moments.
can.
That's
because,
it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
we got to a point in our life is that we try not to fight over the small stuff.
Yeah.
Right,
That's a
so
good thing.
True. It really is.
That's
a
Just
good
celebrate
thing.
the good.
Did
but,
you both come up with the menu ideas, or did you pick most of it, or she did? or?
Mostly it was my creation of the dishes, but I always use my family as like the guinea pigs. So we all like try the different things, but.
Yeah.
But my wife, my kids. I have my 12-year-old kid. He's got like probably the most, greatest palate in the world. He grew up with me, and of course, like I was taking care of him since he was a little baby. So I puree everything that I had, everything. So he never touched any of the baby food. So we trained his palate, and he's got like the greatest. Like he tells me, Dad, he's great, but I gotta tell you, it needs a little more salt.
Oh, wow, that's something.
A critic.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That's
That is
Yeah, I think he's
exciting.
definitely gonna be the one that may pursue the idea of
Yeah.
being a chef.
Oh my gosh.
But I would like everyone to not do what I do because I know the
Yeah.
effort and the sacrifice that we all have to do.
Because you are here all the time.
Yeah, we're
I
here
can
all the
pop in
time.
at any point. And you can sit at their beautiful bar, which is something
Right.
else if you haven't been there to enjoy. Just sitting at the bar, I mean, it probably sounds crazy, but I'll come in and get your homemade minestrone soup.
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
you know, I mean, it's ridiculous.
sit at
It's
the
like,
bar?
Yeah.
well, I hate to say it, but you know, 'cause I can talk to Rosa or say hi,
Yeah.
you know, and I'll get a Diet Coke, you know, and you know, and it's so peaceful. Or like, you know, we can come in here. Diane and I are tax collector. We've come in and sat here, and I mean, it's for less than. It's crazy. It's how inexpensive you can sit here and enjoy and have peace and calm, and incredible food.
Yeah.
You said the right thing. It's about helping locals, you know, and we are a mom and pop local restaurant that
Right.
that you know we try to serve the community, and the idea is about you know be part of the community and help each other, you know, because you know there's so many different restaurants and there's just so much competition, but the idea is about you know also is about helping
The
the local community,
like
you
shop
know.
local. And last
Yeah.
Saturday was just, you know, local, shop small, the
Yeah.
local Saturday.
Right.
And we really have to. And it's right here in our backyard. So you don't always have to drive elsewhere. And you do feel like you're stepping into Boston or New York or somewhere else, which is really nice.
Definitely give us a chance because you'll be surprised that you know it sometimes you know from the outside it's not really what you expect the inside. You
Oh
know,
my
Yeah.
so never judge a book by its
Yeah.
cover, right?
that-
You have a catering menu.
We do, yeah. We do very well this time of the year, but all our menu is available for takeouts. But we
Okay.
do have great prices on
Catering.
trays. Yeah, we do
Yeah.
half a trays or full trays, and we do like you know appetizers, salads. You know, all our takeout menu or catering menus are online.
Oh,
You know,
it
they-
is?
Yeah,
Okay.
so they can
You know,
check that out
Kathy, I
Do
online.
you
didn't
do
even
stuffed
think of
calamari?
that.
We do it as a special, you know. We don't really do it.
You don't do
on
it
the
in
menu.
catering.
It's like tripe, you know. Like no one
Yeah.
seems to like it, but my wife likes it. I like
My
it.
mom
So
used to
every other
love it,
week
yeah.
we make it for us because my wife is originally from Mexico. So
Oh.
they love this item. It's called menudo, which is kind of like the trap soup that we do in
Oh,
Italy.
yeah.
And so we do it for the family.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think of the catering and all either, though,
Yeah.
Kathy. That's
That's a
really
good
another.
idea.
I
That's
was
good
thinking
to
with
know.
the holidays coming up.
Right.
Oh, my
People might,
goodness,
you know,
absolutely
Want to do something
Yeah.
a little easy, you know, with everybody's hectic out shopping
Yeah.
or whatever. And
Yes.
so if
yeah.
you could just, how far in advance would they need to place an order?
Normally like a day in advance. If
Okay.
there is items like a baked item, like a lasagna or manicotti
Right.
or things
Oh,
like that,
right.
you know, so that gives us a little bit more of a heads up. But as long as it's between 4 and 6 hours ahead of time,
Wow.
we're still
my
able to do it,
goodness.
you know.
Wow, that is
That
really
is
good
good.
to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, because
Boy.
most of the items like chicken parmesan, eggplant
Oh, which is
parmesan, you know,
phenomenal.
those are easy to do, you know, for catering. But a day in advance is definitely recommended.
Yeah.
Easy for you to do. It's like
Oh,
it's
Yeah,
easy,
but,
you know, it's
but
so
we have
easy for
we have
a
had
trained
many
chef.
many catering. They're like, oh, we'll be there in an half an hour and pick it up,
Oh,
and
goodness.
we say how about an hour, and, so
Yes,
they,
yes,
they,
my
they
goodness.
we'll still do it.
Boy, it's but no,
Very
it's
good.
exceptional.
I
That's
bet
good
it
to
is.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Just,
good to know.
just beautiful. And you know, we have a dear friend, Dr. Coronelli, Bart Coronelli in town, and he is very fussy, right from Italy. You know,
Yeah.
go to any restaurant, and especially Italian food. And I can't count how many times he's come in with his family, and he loves. You know, your waitresses just make him like feel like part of
Yeah.
the family. And when his family comes in from California, anywhere, they come here, and the food is exceptional.
good.
And I
Yeah.
think it was orzo or something that he had.
And risotto.
Risotto. I knew I had it wrong. Risotto. and like you were saying earlier,
Yeah.
he said, you know, there was something about there. So you know, so he mentioned it to you, and then it was brought back to perfection. And now it's like the best in the world that he's ever had. You know, 'cause he did, however you tweaked it for him, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And he loved it. But I mean, you know, for someone that you know really will let you know when he doesn't like something too, which is
Absolutely, yeah.
important, you know.
Yeah.
But it just like top in his book, you know, and
Yeah.
and that
That's-
really
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
good things.
No, the
but-
clientele has been great. You know, we have a good relationship with all our guests,
Yes.
and we've been very happy to be here in Londonderry,
Good.
and it's growing so much. So we can just see it getting
Oh.
bigger and bigger.
bigger
Oh,
and bigger,
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Sure,
yes.
when that
Yeah.
place is built over at
Oh
Woodmont.
my God,
I
your
know.
Oh
location
my
is
gosh,
phenomenal.
that's gonna,
Bring even
Yeah,
more
Yeah.
it
people in.
really
Yeah.
is.
It really is.
Yeah, it really will. And anything else we should talk about? When we've
No,
got
I
this
asked. I want you to find out
opportunity?
about the pizza oven.
Yeah.
Oven. And you have the margarita pizza too, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's yeah.
I
know
need
we've
to make
had
sure that I always explain to people that it's not a margarita drink. Because they say, "Can I take that to go?" And I say, "No, it's the margarita pizza." And the idea, I think the name of the margarita pizza is that it originated in Naples, where the Queen Margarita one day went to a pizzeria, and they back then it was just like a tortilla, as it was
Yeah.
trying to. And the chef said, how would you like? He said, oh, the Italian flag. So they do tomato sauce for red, and mozzarella for white, and the green for basil. And then everyone was asking, they're like, what did she just got? She got the margarita pizza because it was a margarita, Queen Margarita. And then so I think that's what the legend of the way
Oh,
everyone
right.
came to be. Yeah.
That is
I always
something.
wondered
Now we learned
about
something
that.
else
Right?
today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's one of my favorites. I
Yeah.
love that because you put the fresh base. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like
it's just the
oh,
tomato, mozzarella, basil, and then
It's
we
so-
put
I
a touch
love
of olive
basil.
oil on the top.
That's probably what makes the difference.
It makes a
too.
big
Oh
difference,
my
yeah.
gosh, it's
Yeah,
just
the fresh basil. The
unbelievable.
margarita, we have the DOP, which is actually with a buffalo mozzarella, and it's not a buffalo pizza being spicy. It's just the buffalo mozzarella. They do basically do this mozzarella from buffalo milk versus cow's milk, and it's a little more silkier and a little bit more more creamier, and so we do that. And then of course we have the meat lover pizza. We have the pepperoni pizza. But
Yeah.
the idea about a Neapolitan pizza, this kind of pizza, is the less ingredients you put, the better pizza you get.
Oh,
Because they cook it
interesting.
very fast, and when you have a lot of ingredients, the dough doesn't have a chance to really cook nicely. So most of your Neapolitan pizza, you don't see overloaded, but because that's the
That's
idea.
good to know.
It has to be kind of light, ingredients on top.
Right.
Yeah, I think when you first opened, people didn't understand that
No,
concept,
no.
because it takes a while for people because you're so
It
used to the
does,
big
yeah.
floppy kind of pizza,
Exactly. Yeah,
that
exactly. And everybody's used of your typical pizza,
Yes.
kind of like
Yeah.
hearty, and the dough is very hard, but it takes a little while. But
Yeah.
now that people got
People
to understand
are,
that
that's
the Neapolitan
right,
style
yes.
pizza, they really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Any
I always-
chance you'll be? I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. Kat.
Any chance you'll be doing like what I call the Sicilian style pizza, the thick? They usually
Probably-
make it like the square.
Yeah,
the
probably
thick.
not, because the oven is not really indicated for that. It's different ovens for different temperatures
Oh,
for the
interesting.
pizza.
Okay.
But that would be something that we do. We can do it in the back, but it's called also focaccia. We can do we have been doing that. It's kind of like a bread,
Right.
a little thicker, and then we do cherry tomatoes, the rosemary, on top. Kind of
I'm
thing.
so glad you mentioned that because there are no words. And even just as simple as the old home ec teacher in me, it's like, oh my goodness. But even when you sit down and you're going to have your glass of wine or your Diet Coke, whatever, the bread, and there's dipping oil at so many restaurants, of course,
Yeah.
but your dipping oil, it's just an entirely different experience.
Yeah, we
It
make
really
our own
is.
bread because we have the
Oh.
opportunity with the ovens and with the dough
Right.
that we already
There's
have.
nothing like
And
it.
so trying to do your own bread is definitely a very good idea, because it gives us the opportunity to use a leftover pizza dough. And it's just like any home, when they make sourdough, they keep the dough from the day before, and then they keep it from the day before. We do the same thing with our pizza dough. So any leftovers of the pizza dough, it gives it that nice acidic and nice balance to the bread, and it really makes it taste good.
And then your dipping oil too. What do you do to your dipping oil?
I think it's very simple. We use fresh rosemary, fresh
Oh,
parsley, fresh basil, and we do a nice blend of herbs, and then we mix it with extra virgin olive oil and the garlic. You gotta have the garlic.
The garlic is the
Yeah.
yes.
In Italy, we
agree.
say, makes you slip good, but makes you slip along. the
love
garlic.
that.
Yeah.
That's well, I think that's a great way for us to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Garlic makes you,
Okay.
sleep long, but sleep alone. I like that. Pasquale, we cannot thank you enough.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
this-
welcome.
thank you
This
so
was
much.
Pleasure.
incredible. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
thank
Thank
you.
you for the viewers, and I hope everyone has a chance to come and try us
Everyone,
out.
you've gotta
And please
come
let
down
us
if you
know if
haven't
you
been
saw the
there.
video when they come in, because
Yes.
I would like to get the feedback.
That
Yeah.
would be really nice. That's
Yeah.
good for us too. That would
Mhm.
be great. And remember, breakfast Friday, Saturday, and Sunday,
Sunday.
now until 2, which is really unusual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then every day except Monday. So lunch and
Dinner.
incredible
Dinner.
dinners.
Yeah.
And,
And we stay open all throughout the afternoon. We don't close it down.
which is
Yes.
And the holidays, of course, take the opportunity. We are closed for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day,
Yeah.
but we are open for New Year's Eve, and we take reservations. We're gonna do a beautiful menu. We're gonna have prime rib. We're gonna have
Oh, nice.
we're gonna have a few other specials, and then of course we're gonna have our regular menu as well.
Very
Well, I'm glad
nice.
you mentioned that because we don't really have any plans.
No,
So,
what is-
Yeah.
I love that.
What
I
are your
think-
hours
yeah.
on New Year's
New Year's
Eve?
Eve, we're gonna open probably about 4 o'clock until we start to get some reservation, and the idea is to close around 8. So that way we still have the time to clean up and go home and
Go
enjoy
home.
our
Very
our
good.
New Year's
I
Eve
love
party.
That. I
Good.
love
Yeah.
that idea.
Very good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So it's gonna be on Monday. We are closed normally, but
Yes,
for
you're
special
gonna
occasion
open.
like this, we
Yeah.
are
That's
open.
lovely.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Great.
Yeah,
Very
that's
nice.
Well, again, we cannot thank you
Thank
enough.
you.
We're going to enjoy our breakfast now.
Definitely, yeah. Thank you so
And,
much. Yeah.
thank you to all our viewers too. We
Yeah.
really
Thank you.
appreciate and love all of you too.
Thank
and to
you.
Aaron and Drew behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes,
Yeah.
thank
So
you
thank
guys.
you so
Thank
much
And like
for
we
being
say in
here.
Italy, arrivederci.
Yeah.